Okay, good morning. I'm happy to be joined by Councilwoman Clark and Councilman Dorsey, Ryan Dorsey. I'm sorry, Ryan. We just were together yesterday about Japan. I'm happy to be joined today by Paul Taylor, the Director for the Mayor's Office of Minority and Women's Owned Businesses, and Verna Rodwell Jones, the Director for Baltimore Main Street. And we're here today to present the Main Street America 2019 National Reaccreditation to Baltimore City's 9 designated Main Street communities. Baltimore's 9 designated Main Street districts are Bel Air Edison Main Street, East Monument Main Street, Fells Point Main Street, Hamilton Lawville Main Street, Hollandtown Main Street, Historic Federal Hill Main Street, Pennsylvania Avenue Main Street, Pigtown Main Street, and Waverly Main Street. And we have representatives from each district here with us today. Now we will have the Director of Baltimore Main Street, Verna Rodwell Jones, say a few words.
Thank you. Have to wear glasses these days. Good morning. First, I would like to thank Mayor Young for allowing us this opportunity to come and to really showcase one of Baltimore's oldest comprehensive community economic development initiatives. Baltimore Main Street Coordinating Program was established in 2000. It is part of a national network of over 1,000 community-based organizations and 45 city, state, and regional coordinating programs, and we're all working together to create vibrant, people-oriented places to live, work, and play throughout the United States. And we're all united by our additional commitment of historic preservation and working to make neighborhood-based commercial districts as vibrant as possible. Main Street communities represent the richest diversity of our great country in all aspects. The Baltimore Main Street Coordinating Program is guided by the National Main Street Center's 4-point approach, which includes development and implementation of effective community organization, promotion, design, economic vitality, clean, green, and safety strategies for neighborhood revitalization. By recognizing community and/or programs of Main Street America is a mark of distinction and represents community's commitment to continual improvement, neighborhood and community engagement, rigorous outcome measurement. The status comes with being part of a network that also sends a strong message to local stakeholders as well as city, state, national funders. It signifies that you are part of a greater movement that has a proven track record for generating impressive economic returns for the economy and preserving community culture and celebrating local history. These programs and organizations have a proven track record of success in planning and implementation and measuring results that align with the National Main Street approach and have met a series of rigorous accreditation standards. As the Mayor's Office completes a refresh process with the National Main Street Center to assess and put in place transformation processes to enhance the impact of Baltimore Main Streets, we pause to acknowledge and to celebrate the work of Baltimore's 9 Main Street districts and challenge others to strengthen community economic development efforts in all neighborhoods throughout Baltimore City. Again, thank you, Mayor Young, for this opportunity to acknowledge and celebrate Baltimore's Main Street districts.
Thank you.
All right. And now if we could hand out the citations. The first one goes to Pigtown Main Street. Thank you. We have a little sticker that goes in their windows to have a decal that it is a 2000 accredited Main Street district. Fells Point Main Street. Thank you so much.
Thanks.
Bel Air Edison Main Street. comes with a double whammy. Because you're moving to, the former Main Street manager is moving to executive director of the community organization. Pennsylvania Avenue Main Street. Near and dear to my heart. Pennsylvania Avenue, I was able to start with that one. Hamilton Laurelville Main Street.
There's just a good house.
Yes, thank you, yes. With your new groundbreaking kitchen. The East Monument Main Street. Yes, thank you so much. With the organizations coming together. Waverly Main Street?
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
No. We're right.
Oh.
No, we're together.
Thank you.
We're together. We are together.
Stakeholders.
That's what it's all about.
Thank you. Highlandtown Main Street. Hi, Amanda, creative genius. Okay. The Federal Hill Main Street. Ah, yes. Hello, Kathy. Yeah. Historic areas. So are all of them out? Okay, so if the Main Street managers with the citations could just come up so you can be seen, so, and stand out.
Our treasurer, yeah. Where's our treasurer? Step. You're the boss anyway.
Yeah.
Excuse me, ladies and gentlemen, we'll be taking a photo in the room with the awards, okay?
Okay, great. Thank you so much. Thank you. And again, thank you, Mr. Mayor.
You're welcome. Okay, as you all saw yesterday, I announced 2 new directors for 2 of our key departments. Steve Sharkey will be the new director for the Department of Transportation, and Chi Nash will become the director of the Department of General Service. As I said in my statement, Steve Sharkey brings extensive and tested experience to his new role as Transportation Director. He knows our city intimately and has established a long career working across agencies to increase positive outcome. And the city will also benefit greatly from the vast programmatic and policy expertise both in the private and public sector of Chi Nash. She has a track record of success as it relates to the employees' engagement, accountability, customer service, innovation, and collaboration. They both have excelled at using data-driven approaches to achieve greater operational efficiencies. Any questions?
Yes, can Steve answer a few questions?
Sure you can.
Great. Okay. I just wanted to can I just say a couple things?
You go ahead.
Yeah, so just wanted to say a quick couple things before the questions. I'm just so honored and excited about this role. I just have just passion working for the city, making the city better. So I've spent, 14, 15 years here working in the city and multiple agencies and just love making the city better. I share the mayor's commitment that we want to have the highest quality services to all of our roadway users. In my short time, I've already met with 90% of the staff probably because of all the things going on. And it just really shows some of the dedication that a lot of people that we have come to work each day and get there and come late, come early. So I really am proud of coming to this new role, and I really want to engage the employees more and improve morale in the agency and bring us together, all singing from the same sheet of music, coming on one page. And I want to focus on initiatives that better serve all users of the transportation system of Baltimore. Just before 2 other things, I just want to again thank the DGS team. It's been an amazing 6.5 years. It's so sad to leave, but they're being left with an awesome leader in my place. So if 2 years from now they say Chi was better, I will absolutely be happy. Then nothing will make me smile more. And I just want to also thank Frank Murphy. So you guys know Frank. Frank is awesome. I've known Frank for all of my years here. He jumped, first night we just jumped right in on the event, and just Frank is just a wealth of information, and he's a true public servant. So I'm happy to continue working with him, and just want to thank him specifically, and of course Mayor Young, of course, for giving me this opportunity as well as other opportunities that he's given me in the past, because we've worked together pretty well for a while.
All these years,
Yeah, it's been a while.
Have Chi say something before we go to questions for you.
Good morning. I too would like to, first off, thank you, Mayor Young, for this opportunity, for seeing in me the potential to be able to take over from Director Sharkey, who has led DGS into being one of the premier agencies within city government. DGS holds a solid, distinctive place in city government. We have a good reputation, so I'm proud to be taking on the mantle from an individual that has raised the perception of an organization that is pretty much in the background. You won't hear about DGS too much because our role is to support the other agencies within the city government. So we make sure they have reliable vehicles to perform their services. We make sure that we're managing the buildings in which they serve the customers, the citizens of this great city. And I'm very proud and excited to take on the responsibility of making sure that we continue in this great light. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Questions for,
I have a question for Mr. Sharkey. Could you rate from 1 to 10, 10 being good, the ability to get around in Baltimore these days? The transportation system, how it is to get around on these streets? Go ahead and give us your opinion.
So
as a
I've been here 48 hours. I haven't even gotten a chance to look at all studies and other
But
things.
You have traveled the city, I'm sure.
Yeah, so, but I don't want to give a 1 to 10 rating right here on the spot. So I certainly do believe that we need to work to find equity in transit. And so our goal is to continue to improve for all roadway users. So that doesn't just mean cars, that includes bicycles, that includes pedestrians, especially buses, because probably more than 30% of our residents don't own cars. So we need to make sure that all of our people can get to work, get to where they need to go. So that's certainly going to be our goal, but I don't have a numerical number to give you right off the bat.
Well, what's your assessment about getting around in the city with the roads and the state of the roads?
I mean, I would say that we certainly have capital backlogs and challenges, and that's something that I'm trying to get a total handle on as to how much capital needs we are. So there are, lots of needs, and we're trying to address all of them with the funding we have. But to say that the roads and to give, say, depends on when you come. Today, it's very difficult to get around downtown. So, of course, with the sinkhole, or whatever we want to call it. So it's certainly difficult today, but our goal is to greatly improve over the years how well it is to move around, get from place to place in the city, no matter who you are and what you're riding or walking on or whatever.
Mayor Young mentioned that you used some data-driven approaches in your previous position. Can you give an example on how you're going to implement that here in your new role?
Yeah, so I started here as an intern. So of course, when I first moved here, I walked to work literally every day because nobody gave me a parking pass, and I made $6 an hour or whatever minimum wage was at the time. So I walked to work every day to CityStat back in 2003, 4. I mean, it's 19 minus 15 is 2004, 2005. So I started there as an intern, worked my way up to deputy director. So I've worked nearly with probably every operational agency in the city extensively through CityStat, and then with all of my other roles, we work together. So snow room, everything else. I will be interested in re-implementing TransStat, so we're going to work closely with the CityStat team, but we're also going to re-implement TransStat. We'll probably give it a new name, but it's an internal meeting amongst the different divisions to go over data and analysis, and we're going to be, they already did have a project stat type session, which is going over the projects with the engineers. We'll be making sure to continue that, and I'll be attending those at least to start. So I'm very hands-on. I'm going to be talking to the people, and we're going to get good data that everybody can use. So the data is going to be data that means something to the people we're working with. So I'm not just going to put data out. We're going to work on goals and work on numbers together. So yeah.
Just to go back to the previous line of questioning, I mean, when you see a light rail station like collapsing into a street, is that pretty damning sort of evidence of the poor state of the infrastructure in the city?
Well, that's part of. I'm gonna have to go to that's actually
that's a part of our aging infrastructure.
Yeah.
Where the water main broke, so it has nothing to do with what he does in terms of repairing the streets, because I charge transportation with being proactive, get out there and fill in potholes, and the streets that need to be resurfaced, that's on schedule to get resurfaced, to get them done. But the aging infrastructure, as you know, is something we've been dealing with for years. And we don't know when there are going to be water main breaks, and they look like they're breaking everywhere. So I hope I answered that.
No, Thank you, and that's perfect. Appreciate it.
Any question for Chichi?
I had one for sure. You had mentioned morale, that echoes sentiment I've heard that the morale of the Department of Transportation hasn't been terrific. How do you plan on going about improving that, especially in light of a lot of negative press attention?
Back
regarding
here.
that?
So I mean, I think that the number one key is that, Department of Transportation has 1,200 or so people, and so I'm only one person. And if I can get everybody together working and realizing that each of their jobs is important. So everybody that comes to work for us every day, they do something important. And I want to make sure that they all know that, and that each day they're doing something important for Baltimore City. So I, always stress that, but I also like to visit a lot of yards, and I also am going to be, I'll be out there a lot with the crews to see them, because, there's a lot of people that are on the front lines in the hot, in the cold. It's just, tough jobs, and I want to make sure that they know what they do, that what they do is important. And we also have I'm going to be putting in place it's not exactly an employee of the month, but it's another employee recognition program probably within the next 7 to 10 days. That's definitely probably my first priority, to start recognizing the employees that shine, because there's a lot of people that do things, like I said, every day that need those, that just need to be recognized for what they do.
Okay, any other questions?
Mr. Mayor, can you elaborate on the condition of the water main break?
I will defer to Rudy Chop.
Good morning. We are continuing to work to make the area safe, so we can beginning to make the repairs to the water line and the stormwater line that was damaged. Our focus right now is really making that area safe, and making sure that we can prepare the area so the actual work can proceed at this time.
What's the size of the main road?
12-inch. And we also have a 36-inch stormwater line was compromised as well.
Do you know what caused the break?
Aging infrastructure.
Is it an old pipe, a new pipe?
It is old pipe.
Anything else?
How long will the light rail station be closed down at Camden Yards?
Well, likely will be shut down until the water main, the area is complete, restored, because we are using that side of the light rail area as sort of like a staging area, as well as for equipment movement.
What happened in that situation?
In which
With
way?
the light rail station?
The light rail station is on the, if I'm looking at north, in terms of the Howard. So light rail is on my right, and of course the Howard Street is on my right, I mean on my left and on my right. So because the tunnel, the CSX tunnel is on the right-hand side, which is really under the roadway, we didn't want to have any equipment on top of that tunnel for the time being. So we're using light rail area as sort of where we can park the equipment, the cranes, or anything like that.
When do you expect service to be restored?
We don't have a time frame right now.
No time frame at all.
We are working on restoring that area
making it
first,
safe.
making it safe, before we can proceed with actual repairs. And I'm sure as we get more information about that repair schedule, we'll certainly share that with you.
So sorry, did the station collapse because you staged too much heavy equipment there?
No. Well, first of all, you're talking about that handicap ramp, right? The handicap ramp is within the void area that we identified, so it is well within that area. We knew that area was compromised, and we were actually in the process of taking that handicap ramp out.
How's the city staff doing? The guy who was injured, is he doing okay, doing better?
My understanding, he's doing okay. I mean, he's continuing to recover.
Is it still in the hospital or is it?
Yes, he is. Yes, he is.
In the hospital?
Yes.
Let's go back to the time frame, because there's a couple of things going on here. There's the water main break, but there's also a huge disruption on traffic. So what's the time frame on the street closures and this disruption to traffic at this point? Do you have a time frame as to by Friday, street's gonna be open?
Right, we continue to evaluate along with DOT Director, Mr. Sharkey, and we continue to evaluate the scenario, the situation, the circumstances. We certainly would like to open up the roadway as soon as possible, but we got to make sure the roadway is safe for the motors, as well as for the pedestrian as well. So I just asking for a bit of patience, let the engineers do their things, and we'll try to restore as quickly as we can.
What's making it so complicated or so hard to be able to figure out a timeline?
Well, I mean, we got to determine because the water main rupture, there could be underground voids. We want to make sure we identify those voids, so we don't end up putting vehicle traffic on top of an area that really has no support underneath. So that's where a lot of evaluation is going on right now to do that, and we're beginning to stabilize basically that where the handicap ramps in that area was. That's where the worker where we had the collapsed manhole. That area was the starting point where we're beginning to restore or backfilling the void area on the ground. And we continue to do ground penetration radar detection to identify if there are other concern area that we need to address.
Has CXS service in the Howard Street Tunnel been suspended?
CSX, well, they were able to get into the tunnel last night. My understanding, they did a test run this morning, and everything appears to be safe for them. But they will continue to operate cautiously within the next few days to just monitoring if there were any concerns. But obviously, they want to resume normal business as quickly as they can, but we want to make sure it's do so in a safe manner.
In 2001, there was a 40-inch main that broke in that area during the fire in the Howard Street Tunnel. That put out the fire, practically. It was like millions of gallons of water. Is that coming into play now as you try to figure out the stability of that whole area?
No, I mean,
could that have contributed to the undermining of the area?
No, I don't think so. I mean, any time that we make any kind of emergency repair, the area is backfilled properly and restored. So, I mean, we would not have left a void or some sort there as a result of an emergency repair.
Is CSX or the state going to be coming to the city asking you to cover the cost of the disruption?
I'm not. That's too early to make any kind of comments on that. We are focusing on restoring.
Anything else? Any other questions?
It's been reported you're interested in running for mayor.
I was shocked that the story was written that I had a meeting at the Lock Bar. I haven't been in Lock Bar in over a year.
But you talked to the Sun and said you would be
Well,
interested in
the
exploring.
reporter stopped me, just like you stopped me and I talked to you. And I shared with him that, there's some consideration for that, but I haven't spoken to my family yet.
Are you considering running for mayor?
I haven't spoken to my family yet. I'm keeping all options open, but I have to really talk with my family first.
When you were appointed to the position you have now, you were pretty clear that you weren't interested in running for the job. What's changed?
Well, as you know, I was very supportive of Vice President Middleton, who was going to be a caretaker like I was going to be a caretaker, and that did not happen.
What does that have to do with your decision?
It has a lot to do with it because I wasn't bringing staff down. I was bringing 2 people down to help me in the mayor's office. And Vice President Middleton was going to bring 1 person down to keep the staff intact. So, things change. I have a right to change my mind. I have a right to keep all options open, and that's what I intend to do.
How did that change exactly with, if you're referring to Mr. Scott?
What I'm referring to is a conversation that I had with the vice president, because I assumed that she would be president, that we were not going to disrupt staff, that we were going to make sure that she runs back for her seat and I run for president. That has changed, and I won't elaborate any further. That has changed, and I have a right to reconsider. I have a right to keep all my options open, and that's what I'm doing.
So because Sharon Middleton is not
That had
president
nothing.
of the council, you're going to run for mayor?
I think, Jane, you didn't hear exactly what I said. We had a conversation that she was going to bring 1 staff person down, and I was bringing 2 down to the mayor's office. That has changed.
So it's about not moving staff back.
I want to make this perfectly clear. I have a right to change and keep my options open, and I'll leave it at that. I have a right to keep all my options open, and that's what I'm doing.
But you understand, after all the turmoil, people would like a little certainty as to maybe who's going to be the leader, so you can understand why we want to have a solid answer to this question.
Well, I gave you a solid answer. I have to speak to my family. I mean, I can't give you no more solid answer than that.
And then, regardless of what your decision is, do you have a feel or a need to continue what you're doing to try to keep the city moving in the right direction?
Absolutely, and that's what I'm focusing on every day. And everything that could have happened when I became mayor has happened, and I'm getting it done. Everything that could have happened, spyware, main breaks, ho-homes, you name it, everything. And me and my staff have navigated and had workarounds for just about everything that has happened in the city. And I think personally, I have a right to keep my options open. I know what I said initially, but I have a right to keep my options open.
Do you think you've had the resolution with the U.S. Conference of Mayors about
Yes, I spoke to the mayor of Las Vegas, Mayor Goodman, and we discussed about not paying a ransom to any of the spyware folk. And from our understanding, the resolution passed unanimously. It's just that we don't want to pay criminals for hacking into our systems.
What are your plans for the NACO meeting? You're going there tomorrow, I understand?
That's not at NACO. My plan is to continue to have dialogue with leaders from around the country to learn best practices and to receive an award for the Children and Youth Fund.
Tell us about that award, if you could.
You don't know about the Children and Youth Fund?
Yes, but not about your award.
Yeah, it's a reward for the Children and Youth Fund.
From NACO.
For having it implemented and functioning.
Isn't it a bit premature, don't you think, to accept an award for a program that's really in its first?
No, I'm gonna give you an award soon.
The youth fund, as you know, is not, there's probably $25 million appropriated by now. It's not just sitting.
Yeah, because the council just did the resolution to have ABC to continue its work so the money can go out the door. So we're expecting the people to put in their RFPs, and those who have RFPs that's already in will be executed.
Jeff, is there any update you can offer us into the state prosecutor's investigation of former Mayor Pugh?
I have
the
no.
city's involvement?
I have no idea. I have no idea. I have no idea of any of that. I haven't heard anything
Have you
of
been
that.
called upon to?
No, I have not.
A question for the mayor or Mr. Chow about the lost revenue. Is there any estimate of what the city has not collected as a result of the ransomware through water bills or late fees or whatever for parking tickets?
Well, I mean, the ransomware resulted us not having the ability to send out bills for now going on more than 2 months now, right? So that we are losing or at least holding those revenue. So I would not think about them being lost revenue. They basically just on hold at this time. When the system is back up, we'll resume billing. But that is something that we're working on from a communication strategy perspective to let the citizens know they will receive a long bill or larger bills than normal because they cover multiple months. But from that perspective, we have not lost any revenue. We just deferred collection of that revenue.
When do you think that the bills will be going out or start going out?
Well, we are continuing to work with BSET in terms of restoring that. We don't have a time frame at this time.
You still don't know, you can't get a date as to when the water bill is going to go out.
We continue to work through and try to ensure that when we do bring the system back up and running, the system is clean, right? Because that last thing we want to happen is and just prematurely send out bills without ensuring nothing in the billing system or infected or whatever.
Are you receiving revenue from the wholesale customers? Is it only like the, individual accounts or?
No, we're not, the billing system is down.
So like Howard County and Carroll and all the other places?
Right, that's correct. I mean, it's.
Howard County have their own billing.
In terms of wholesale revenue, it's, the billing system down, so we can't process that.
All right, anything else, guys?
Thank you.